Office vacancies in Canada hit an all-time high in the first quarter of this year. Commercial real estate firm CBRE says the overall national office vacancy rate was 17.7%. Now, downtown office vacancies were even higher at 18.4%, and 15.3% of offices in downtown Toronto were also vacant. That's the highest level this city's seen since 1995. For more on this, we're joined by the Ontario Real Estate Association President, Tim Hudak. Tim, good to talk to you this afternoon. How concerning are these numbers with vacancies this high in Toronto's crucial financial district?
Well, it depends on how long it lasts. And they were heading down. Vacancies were improving, meaning people were returning to office. But it seems to have paused, Nick. So there's a number of things that are happening here. Number one, you've seen some downsizing in the tech sector. That was a considerable amount of the commercial real estate base. So they're not filling up those spaces. There was new supply that came on board, right around the time of the pandemic or after. That wasn't filled. And I think a lot of businesses right now are saying, what is going to be our plan going forward in terms of how many days our staff will be in the office in commercial businesses or working from home in a hybrid environment? I think that is in flux right now.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen, for example, RBC sort of mandated its employees to come back. I believe it's 3, if not 4 days a week. So that's sort of bringing people back down. But it is also clear from these numbers that some companies just aren't doing that here. What are the companies and the corporations that own these buildings doing in response to this? Are they trying to bring rates down a little bit to try to bring a few more people in, or are they having a wait and see where this goes approach?
I think a little bit of everything. It's a good question, Nick, and there's a huge change because Toronto used to have one of the lowest vacancy rates in North America. It was down around 4% pre-pandemic, now tripled or quadrupled that depending on what neighborhood you're talking about. Look, I think number one, there is an opportunity here. Well, some businesses won't have their staff in office every day of the week. There's opportunity for residences. So I think the province of Ontario, working with the city, should look at where we can convert some of that commercial space into affordable homes for young Canadians or mixed-use residential and commercial. You made a good point too, Nick. Some businesses are investing more in their building, make them a more attractive space for employees to work together. And I do think that while Royal Bank is moving, and others may, others are saying, well, let's wait and see. We are saving our staff time on the commute. That's time and money, two very precious commodities. So I think they're watching to see exactly where they can go. I suspect over time we'll end up in a space somewhere in between, because once people experience a benefit, like the 5-day work week, the 40-hour work week, vacation days, they're very reluctant to give it up, and you can't blame them.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, definitely, like the way most workplaces work during the pandemic sort of changed a lot. There's no doubt about that. I'm curious what you think this may change in terms of development in downtown Toronto, and sort of the maybe slightly greater area going forward here. If suddenly, I mean, we've seen several office towers go up during the pandemic, but could you see anybody else considering breaking ground with numbers looking like this?
Well, I think some projects are looking through how the metrics are going to look and seeing where trends are going about how often people are in the workplace. The positive side of this, though, those that are the higher end projects and buildings tend to be doing better than others, and others will upgrade to actually attract tenants. Some are giving away months of free rent as well to get people into their buildings. So I think you'll see a move to quality, Nick, for what is existing. But I do want to reiterate, there are some cities in North America, Calgary is a leading example, where the city and the province and businesses are saying, these are beautiful buildings. They got a great view of the lake. It's a great place to live. Young people, new Canadians, they want to live here. So I do think there's an opportunity, and hopefully in this mayor's race coming up in Toronto, to lay some ideas on the table to create residences that can help first-time home buyers get into the market as well.
Yeah, that would be an interesting sort of twist on the sort of shortage of supply. I mean, we have, real estate people come on our programs all the time, and the one word that comes up time and time again is supply. That sounds like it may be one of the sort of keys to this whole issue. Overall, Tim, I don't know how frequently you sort of speak to landlords, et cetera, but what are you hearing from them about, the state of affairs here, seeing these numbers and then seeing what's being reflected in Toronto's sort of financial/downtown district?
Well, no doubt there's intense competition there. We're used to a time when things were flourishing, where people would do anything to get into their buildings, and now they're trying to keep tenants to sublease it. But I think you're seeing some that are very active and forward-looking that are reinvesting into their buildings to attract tenants or get people to expand, help out with the refurbishments to make them more attractive. So you're seeing what happens in a market economy. Look, I'm not in panic about this. We are in a flux situation. I think people will adjust over time to a hybrid work environment. But Nick, we also have to see opportunities, and let's not forget too. This is environmentally friendly to use existing real estate, whether it's for commercial or residential. It's already built. It's already on services. It's already along a transit line, for example. So let's put our heads together. I think that space is going to be used one way or another by commercial in the future, or I'd like to see more residential as a tag team.
Well, that'll be something to watch for. Indeed, always good to chat. The president of the Ontario Real Estate Association, Tim Hudak, thanks for the time today.
My pleasure, Nick. Have a great day.
You too.